Thanks for joining me for another scrapbook process video. If you guys have been watching any of my videos lately, you guys know I love starting with a good sketch. This one I found on Pinterest by Shirley Evans, and what really drew me to her sketch was the amount of photos she had and the layout. I had a lot of vertical photos and only a few horizontal, so it worked out really great for me. The photos I used is 11 photos that are 4x3. And they're very bright photos and quite busy photos, but I wanted to stick to the 2-page layout. I didn't want to add more pages to this one day event that we had. And so I decided to keep it quite simple with everything else. I used very minimal pattern paper, which is by Chamel Field Trip Collection. And I just used the white cardstock to just make the photos really pop and just have their own story and be the main focal point, which I'm quite happy with. In the sketch, she had really nice circle, kind of like embellishment clusters, and I wasn't sure which embellishments to use. I feel like I didn't have a good theme park embellishment, so I decided to draw in some circles, and you guys see that in a few minutes. I'm using one of the titles from Chamel's collection, like puffy stickers kind of, and I'm adding a few other ones. So here I'm deciding I'm going to commit. I'll just start gluing everything down, and I also write the date at the top because I usually stamp it on the back of my photos, and so I don't have to go back digging through it. I write it on my page with a pencil and then erase it. So once I have everything glued down, I move on to a little bit of embellishing and the circles. So I'm using this old stencil. You might still have it in your stash. Grab it out, and I'm just lightly penciling in the circles just to see where I want it, if I want more, how many layers I do, things like that. So I draw one circle and then I slightly move it and draw in another circle. And I've made 3 so far. I'll add more eventually. Then I decide before I commit to those drawn on circles, I better check my title, make sure I have everything laid out the way I want it. And I don't have enough A's in this alphabet, but I use, I think, a P or something like that and flip it over, eventually cut it off to make it an A. So there's a little tip or trick. So once I got my title all figured out, I just decide that I do want more circles to add a little bit more dimension and a little bit more interest, because I'm trying to keep it quite simple with the embellishments. And I did consider leaving it in pencil, but I felt like that was a little unfinished look, so I will go back with a black pen and kind of go over the circles, trace them back, and then erase the pencil marks so it will look nice and clean. So I feel like the rest of the video is quite straightforward with just embellishments, finishing up my little circles and things like that. So I'm gonna let the music just take over. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, leave the comments below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for joining me on this process video, and stay tuned for some more. Also check out my Instagram. The link is down below in the description box. Thanks again, you guys.